What's up, guys? So, I did a genome link, a test on the genome link, okay? I got 19.7% English, 17.2% Irish, 10.4% German, Dutch, and Belgian, 10.2% Spanish and Portuguese, mostly Spanish, 10.0% Slovenian and Croatian, 9% Norwegian Sami, 9% Italian, 3.4% either Slovakian, Ukrainian, or Polish, right? 1.5% Swedish, 1.2% Roma, 1.1% French, 1.0% Ashkenazi Jew, 0.9% Basque, 0.4% Balkan, 0.4% Hispanic Jews, and 0.1% Tyrolean. Now, I also did illustrative DNA, okay? And here's what they said. These are the populations, the 50 populations that are the most closest match to me, that are genetically the closest to me. These 50 populations are genetically the closest to me. So you can see Western Europe, so like France, England, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, the Shetland Islands, Cornwall, Holland, Belgium, right? Those obviously are there. And then you have like some of Central Europe, like Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Hungary, Slovakia, right? That's there. But when you look in Southern Europe, and then there's some like Balkan countries like Croatia, Slovenia, Bosnia, Serbia, Montenegro. And then you have a little bit of Eastern Europe, Romania, Moldova, Poland, a little bit of Ukraine, right? Some Northern Europe, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland. I guess you could say England and Scotland and Ireland are Northern Europe as well. But when you look at Southern Europe, so in Spain, Catalonia, right? The population in Spain that I share the most DNA with, or have the most DNA common with, are located in Barcelona and Girona. And how do I know they're in Barcelona and Girona? Well, I am unfortunately a descendant of this sick individual, Ramón Berenguer el Cuarto de Barcelona. Okay? He married and basically assaulted Petronila de Aragón. Now, who is a descendant of Petronila de Aragón? My 17th great grandma, Carlota de Aragón, Nápoles y Teremte. Because at this time in history, La Casa de Aragón not only controlled Aragón, they controlled Catalunya, they controlled Los Baleares, they controlled Valencia, and they controlled Napoli, and they controlled Sicily. So this is my 17th great grandma, Carlota de Aragón, Nápoles y Teremte. Not exactly sure how many generations she was removed from Petronila de Aragon. Okay, so probably like a 4th or 5th great granddaughter or something. But she was a descendant of that sick individual, Ramon Berenguer de Barcelona. And she was also a descendant of Petronila de Aragon. Okay. So, that is why the population in Spain and the population in Southern Europe that I'm most genetically closest to is in Barcelona. Literally in the city of Barcelona. Not just, this is not hyperbole at all. I'm just generalizing, it's Catalunya, so it's Barcelona. No. I'm a direct descendant of that sick fuck, Ramon Berenguer de Barcelona. Okay? I'm a direct descendant of the guy. You understand? Sadly. Right? So according to this here, according to Illustrative DNA, the region in Southern Europe that I share the most DNA with, aside from Aosta, right? The only true region in Southern Europe that I share DNA with is Catalunya, specifically Barcelona. That makes sense. Now, I double checked this here on Explore Your DNA. Cool website. So what you do is you go on GEDmatch, you do Eurogenes K36, and you explore your DNA, right? And then you go to explore your DNA. You go to Utile, which means tools in French, and you put your numbers in here. So for example, right, I have 12.97 Iberian. So on the Iberian Peninsula, in the Iberian region, okay, the populations I share the most DNA with are in Mallorca, Portugal, Galicia, Madrid, Catalunya, in that exact order. Which is interesting because people in Mallorca are genetically similar, and then after that would be Valencia, right? People in Mallorca are genetically similar to people in Catalunya and people in Valencia. That has been well established, right? Catalan people, los valencianos, y los baleáricos, los mallorquinos, right? They're all genetically related, okay? Just like los castellanos y los madrileños are genetically related, and los gallegos y los portugueses y los asturianos, they're all genetically related, okay? Or genetically similar, right? So you really have 3 genetic regions: Northwest Spain and Portugal, Central Spain, and Eastern Spain. Interesting. Okay. And so, of the destinations on this list, the ones that I've been to are Amsterdam, Delft, and Barcelona. Okay. And Montserrat. We went up to Montserrat. We hiked up there. We saw ibexes up there. You know, I've been to the Juan Miró Museum. And of these destinations, the one I've spent the most time in is Barcelona. Okay. And after that, it would be like Amsterdam and then Delft, in that order. I've never been to no other countries except on this list. And when I went to Italy, I didn't even go to Trentino or Aosta, Udine, or to Venezia or any other cities I have these roots or I share DNA with. You know, I went to Messina. Although La Casa de Aragón once ruled Messina and they married some Italians, and we all know how that ended up. But on the Iberian Peninsula, the region I share the most DNA with is Catalonia. So that is interesting, right? But you can filter populations on this too. So in terms, let's just do the Iberian Peninsula. Because again, I only really care about the Iberian Peninsula. Because this will rank all the populations on the Iberian Peninsula for me. So let's do all the Iberian populations. And Catalonia is still the closest one, followed by maybe Navarra. Makes sense, right? Now, if I set this to top 10, so okay, here we go, top 10. The top 10 populations: Catalonia, Valencia, Navarra, Murcia, then Galicia, no, then Cantabria, then Galicia, no, wait, Navarra, La Rioja, Cantabria, Galicia, Portugal, so here's my top 20. Catalonia, Navarra, no, Catalonia, Valencia, Navarra. Basically you guys get the picture, you know what I mean? But if I go select all, slide that to 50, 42nd population on this list is in Catalonia. Interesting, right? Hella interesting. And that's the legacy of La Casa de Aragón y La Casa de Barcelona, ¿verdad? So there you go. Interesting. And that explains why I was never blonde. Maybe. We'll see. Well, and maybe that also plays to the fact because, you know, I have roots in Catalonia and then more distant roots in places like Navarra, Madrid, Castilla y León, Galicia. Maybe that plays into the fact that I'm not an endurance athlete, that I'm a strength athlete. Because you look over here, it says that I have low endurance, above average pace, and high strength. Interesting. Maybe the fact that I have large... And you know what? The ACTN3 gene, right? And the myostatin deficiency, because Barcelona and Valencia used to have a problem with malaria back in the day. Maybe I have higher myostatin levels than the average European to combat that. That's an interesting point. Maybe. So I find it fascinating that Illustrative DNA says, in terms of the Iberian Peninsula, I share most of my DNA with Catalonia. And then Explore Your DNA says, in terms of the Iberian Peninsula, I share most of my DNA with Mallorca, right? Palma de Mallorca. Interesting. So, either way, I'm Catalan, Aragonés, Navarrense, you know, down the line, I have some Castellano, Gallego. That's crazy that I'm mostly Catalan in terms of my Spanish ancestry. And then GEDmatch said the same thing on Eurogenes K13. So I thought that was interesting. But this seems pretty accurate in comparison with Explore Your DNA. Because they said my top group was in Antwerp, Belgium, but I know Antwerp because of the research I've done. And then it gave me, obviously, people in Mallorca are ethnically Catalan or related to people from Catalonia. But Illustrative DNA said the population in Spain I share the most DNA with is in Catalonia. So I find that interesting. So there you go.